Hello everybody, welcome again to another episode of the Campbell Chronicles. We have our special series going on right now. This is episode 4 of 5 with Amy Macklin. She's a travel agent for One Little Spark Travel Agency. Amy, thanks for joining me again.
Yes.
It's not like we've been recording these all at once. We've been talking about Disney.
Yes.
I'm a Disneyland guy, Amy's Disney World. She's been doing it for as long as you can remember, right?
Yeah, since I was a kid. Yep.
Yeah. Today we are going to focus specifically on Disney World. How Amy does Disney World, why she does it. There is 1,000 ways you can do Disney World. There's not one right way, and there's not one wrong way.
Yep.
But there is some cool things that this is why I like talking about it, because you learn something new every time you talk to somebody about this, and you think, oh, I'm going to add this to my trip, or I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know what you think. How do you do Disney World? Do you start in a particular park? Do you go to Magic Kingdom first? What do you do and why? We'd love to hear from you. Where do you start? You're going down to Disney World. Do you typically stay on property, as we discussed?
Yeah.
Do you go straight for the Magic Kingdom? Where do you go first?
Well, the first day I fly in, I try not to go anywhere because I like to get in and get settled and have like a nice dinner somewhere and start fresh in the morning. But I do always have to start at Magic Kingdom because it just seems wrong not to do that.
There's something to be said for that. There's a certain magic that Disney, it's like...
The iconic,
Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah.
When my first time to Disney World, we were going and we had a rough time getting there. We had a really rough time, but as soon as we walked in the gates and we saw Main Street and the castle, it's like all that goes away.
Yep.
It doesn't matter anymore. It's just you're there, you made it. It's so nice.
Yep.
So I would probably I do agree with you on that. I'd probably beeline it for the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. So about walking through the gates. So when we went for our honeymoon, we woke up our first day and it was like storming bad. Not just a Florida storm, like it was coming down bad, and we were kind of upset. I'm like, let's just go and see how it turns out. So we put on our ponchos, we run to the bus stop, and literally the bus is like pulling into the gates of Magic Kingdom and the clouds are parting.
Wow. And
the sun shines down. And it ended up being a little rainy on and off all day, and it actually was really low crowds because of that. But it's funny because it is just like the magic that happens when you're there.
That's what you get when you go to Florida. All these resorts, when it rains, people tend to kind of go back to the resorts for a little bit, right? So you get a little break in the crowds if you don't care about the rain and you want some low crowds.
Yeah.
It's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're walking down Main Street and you see the castle. Which way do you go? Are you a lefty or are you a righty?
It's usually what I've gotten a fast pass for that I need to beeline it for. I feel like I usually go more towards, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, that side, and I save Tomorrowland for a little bit later in the day. But I don't have like a set path, I wouldn't say.
In one of my previously recorded episodes, we talk about how we do Disneyland, and we go left.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because we're already in the nostalgic Disney mood.
Yeah.
Left tends to be where at Disneyland you got the Pirates, you got Indiana Jones, you got the Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, so a lot of classics right there, right off the bat. And it's the same sort of thing for Disney World. A lot of classics to the left.
Yeah.
And then by the time you make your way over to the Tomorrowland, it might be nighttime. The lights are on.
Right.
That's why we do it
Neon
that way.
lights, yeah.
Let's just go through a couple quick questions about Disney World. What's your favorite dessert, specifically in the parks?
In the parks, I love a good Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip.
Dole
Whip or churro?
Well, churros in Disney World are not as good as in Disneyland.
I agree with that 100%.
So I will have to let you know once I go to Disneyland and try a churro. But the
Dole
ones
Whip
in
for
Disney World, you can skip.
Yeah. They weren't that great. I agree.
Yeah.
I hope they know that too. I hope they're
probably
changing that, because that's not right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your favorite park out of the 6?
Well, Magic Kingdom, like we said, is the iconic one, so it's hard not to pick that. But I say, other than Magic Kingdom, I'll put that in a different category. I'll say Epcot. I just love going around the world, and I love, kind of the way it used to be, as far as like, it's a learning park. It's like you get the science stuff, and it's kind of going away from that a little bit, which is fine. But I kind of love the history of Epcot too. Yeah,
and with Epcot going through all its renovations coming up with Spaceship Earth, splitting up into 4 different lands within Epcot. I'm excited to see what they have to bring. I hope they do bring more back that learning side of it, the educational side, because there was a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
You were learning in a very fun way, and I think kids need that. But
yeah.
If I had to say which one my favorite would be, it'd be Epcot.
Yeah.
Hands down, because when I went, it was just Emily and myself, and it was fantastic. We got to go through the World Showcase without any kids, like, you know, getting tired. We got to take our time.
Yeah.
Very much, I would say, a little bit more geared towards adults.
Yeah.
With the Food and Wine Festival,
Yeah,
Flower
the
Garden.
that go on are amazing. That's definitely another addition.
So, and then the rides there are fantastic. Spaceship Earth has my favorite soundtrack out of any ride, any park. It's just absolutely amazing. And they're changing that, but that's okay. I went on it. I'm happy. I mean, you could spend 2 days there easily.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if there's a festival going on.
Especially, right. I loved going to the World Showcase and tasting all the foods and experiencing their shops and their shows. It was just a ball. So what's your favorite land amongst all the places you've visited?
I think Tomorrowland is just fun.
Yeah.
I like how it's kind of, you know, it used to be like predicting what the future will be, but now it's like this retro version of what we thought the future was going to be, and I just think that's really fun, and the People Mover and all that kind of stuff is just kind of the history of all this.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear that like mentioned too much. I think it's highly underrated.
Yeah,
I really do. Are you there at the front of the line waiting for that rope to drop, or are you more casual?
No, I'm definitely front of the line.
Yeah.
Maybe not front of the line, but definitely we need to be there when the rope is dropping. Especially Magic Kingdom, there's a whole show that goes on to open the park. You don't want to miss that. So, I definitely want to get there. I'm not a morning person except when I'm at Disney. That's the only exception. And then I am ready to go right when the park's open. I feel like we're missing out if we're not there.
We're very much so the same way. And again, we've mentioned in our past videos with Disney Vacation Club, that's probably going to change because you're not going to feel like you're going to have to do it all at once because you don't know when you're coming back. You know you're going to come back.
Yeah.
So if you miss something, that's okay. But
right.
At least for the next few times, I feel like I'm going to be there, rope drop, closing them up.
Yeah.
We just love that. We feel like we're getting the most for our money when we do that.
Yeah.
So you have a 2-year-old Riley.
Yes.
Does this child, like many other children, like to take naps in the middle of the day?
He does. Okay. Yes, that has presented a challenge.
So
I kind of had to alter my ways a little bit with Disney World, and I have to be okay with it. So we go back for a nap, and then we still try to go back for the fireworks and everything if he's gonna make it for that. But yeah, definitely having a young child has kind of altered that a little bit. Because if it was up to me, I would put a catheter in, not stop all day, like no stops for nothing, want to get everything in.
Yeah.
But unfortunately he crashes a little bit quicker than I do.
Yeah. With our children, we've been taking Jackson, my oldest, since 8 months old was when he first went. And we've just we got one of the strollers that reclines.
Yeah.
And we cover him up when he wants to take a nap. So we never actually leave the park, but again, and even though at Disneyland, we would stay like a block or two away, we would stay in there.
Yeah.
Because it was a good chance to go just relax at the park too.
Yeah.
There's so much to do at the parks besides rides, whether it be characters, people watching, whatever, activities, shows, so much to do.
Yeah.
A lot you can do now when your kids are sleeping.
Yeah.
But now the kids are older, we're kind of we're very much theme parkers. We like to go, hit it strong. They typically don't nap. If they do, they will be in the stroller.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see with number 3 coming along.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's going to change. I don't know. I'm going to be ready for whatever change it is because it will be a change for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite time of year to go then?
I think early May.
Okay.
That's
when we went.
Yeah, we've gone a few times. The crowds are pretty low then. We've also gone in September, but as we mentioned with the cruise episode, you're dealing with hurricanes. We've always had really good luck, but you just never know. And so you're always risking that. But it's usually a little bit cooler, and crowd sizes are really low right now. So because I think like a hurricane and school back in session.
If I don't normally do this, but I don't normally buy trip insurance, but if I went in September, I would. I would, because like she said, you just never know when the next storm's coming along. If your flight's going to get delayed or you can't make it in time.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of your favorite things to do in the Animal Kingdom park.
Animal Kingdom, It's funny, every time I've gone, I've always started with having breakfast at Tusker House, which is a character breakfast. All the Fab Five, they're all in their safari outfits and hats and things.
Nice.
It's a nice buffet breakfast, nice way to get started. And then we usually have a fast pass for the safari right after that. So we take the safari, and then I love Expedition Everest.
Yes.
I love the Lion King show.
Have you been to Pandora?
Yes.
Okay, how was that?
It was when my son was younger, so we didn't get to do Flight of Passage, which I hear is amazing. But we did the river ride, the Navi River. And I've actually never seen Pandora, but even never seeing it, I can appreciate how cool it was, and the drums and all that.
Avatar,
kind of
oh my gosh,
Avatar.
I just recently rediscovered their soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the music. If you follow me, if you watch my previous YouTube videos, you know how much I love music, especially Disney music. And now that Avatar's kind of been wrapped up into the world of Disney, it just kind of, it's a great soundtrack. And I can only imagine what it's like to be on those rides and hear that and experience that. And,
it's very cool.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so you like the character breakfast. What about over at Hollywood Studios? How do you typically do Hollywood Studios?
Well, the last couple times we went, it's kind of been under construction, so we haven't gone since Toy Story Land and Star Wars and everything now. So I'm anxious to get back now that they have all those new additions. So I love Tower of Terror, I love Rock and Roller Coaster, some of the bigger rides there. You know, I'm a big roller coaster person, so those bigger rides I always enjoy. I love eating at 50's Primetime Cafe is really fun.
I want to eat there. Yes. I heard that was amazing.
Yeah, it's very good, and the wait staff is really fun. They mess with you and stuff, tell you to eat your vegetables and all that kind of fun stuff.
That's cool. So going back over to the Magic Kingdom, what's your favorite attraction there specifically?
Probably Splash Mountain.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's just fun. It's kind of a long ride, which is kind of nice to sit down for a little while.
That's awesome.
And go through, and then, you know, the big drop kind of fills the adrenaline part that I'm always looking for.
Yeah.
The song is so catchy.
Oh my gosh.
It's just kind of iconic.
If you've been on both the Disneyland and the Disney World, I will tell you, at least what I feel, the Disney World version is better.
Really?
Yeah. Not only do you get to sit side by side with people, but the inside of it, the animatronics, the lighting, it's just better.
Yeah.
The songs are different. I don't really particularly care for one song more than the other. They're both great songs, but I prefer the Disney World ride. I'd have to say my favorite attraction at Disney World would be the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
I love that ride.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And again, if I'm comparing them to Disneyland, I would have to say Disney World is better because of the Magic Band technology.
Oh, yeah.
They are able to use that, and you get a little personalized touch. I won't spoil it for you, but a little personalized touch for you at the end.
Yeah.
Extra rooms that are really cool,
Yeah.
like the staircase room. I love that room. The library, it's just amazing. I love the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. And plus the queue. The queue is way better in Disney World.
Yeah.
Way more interactive.
Most
it's
of
just
the queues, I mean, don't worry about waiting in line at Disney World because most of the queues are almost just as cool as the ride, like Peter Pan, and I mean, all of them are very cool.
So when it comes to visiting the Disney parks, when's the best season to go for not only crowds but heat? Because Florida is hot. It's no secrets.
It's going to be hot no matter when you go, to be honest. Don't expect to go in December and bring a winter coat or anything. I have gone in December, and actually it did get kind of chilly. But I've also gone then like beginning of February, and it was, you know, we're wearing shorts and t-shirts.
Wow.
But definitely the winter months are going to be pretty much the only relief from the heat. The summer obviously is like the face of the sun hot. You know, so that's why we try like early spring, like, you know, beginning of May. I think it's a really nice time because it's not quite as hot.
Yeah. Do you do the water parks when you go?
No, I haven't done the water park since I was a little kid.
Really?
So now that we have just a vacation club and we can have a little more time, I think because when we've gone more recently, it's been bookended with the cruise, so we've only done Disney like 3 or 4 days.
I see.
So once we can do a more extended trip, I'm excited to do those.
Yeah. When we went in May, I don't know if we just got lucky or not, but it wasn't hot. Like their humidity was way down.
That's good.
Yeah. It was fantastic, and the crowds were very mild. So it was a very pleasant time of the year to go. And that was, I guess that's right before the schools get out in Florida. So
yeah, so I gotta try to beginning of May, by mid to end of May, then it's crowded.
I don't particularly like going to theme parks when they're super busy, so I will look for these off times. If I go to Disney World for Christmas, it won't be on Christmas. It'll probably be like the first or second week. That holds true for Disney World too?
Yeah, so they'll put Christmas stuff up beginning of November.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're going this year for the Christmas party, we're going towards the end of like the week before Thanksgiving. Okay. And I'm anxious to see how the crowds are then, because I don't think kids are out of school or anything. But there is the Christmas party going on, and they have everything is decorated. You go to the Grand Floridian and see the big gingerbread house. A lot of cool stuff going on. But they'll start that in early November. So if you're looking to not go like at Christmas break time with kids, then I would go like November.
Yeah, Disneyland we do the first, second week of December. We loved it. I'd like to do the same thing, because like for travel, if you like to fly to Disney World, I guess the flights can be a little cheaper as well that time of year.
Yeah.
Nobody really travels that first couple weeks of December, so if you can manage to pull your kids out or whatever, if you can get down there, I definitely recommend the first couple weeks of December. But to each his own.
Yeah. I've heard that too. Other people have told me that beginning of December.
So somebody's not really sure about going to Disney World. Mm-hmm. What do you tell them to get them say? I mean, it's not like, oh hey, check out these long lines that you have to wait in for. How do you convince them more or less to do Disney?
Well, people who don't want to go to Disney or think Disney's just for kids or something, they usually just don't know as much about it. It's usually kind of ignorance and like not knowing everything it has to offer. We've done adults only trips. They have some 5-star rated restaurants.
Yes.
You don't have to just go and stand in lines all day, especially if you go at a less busy time. It's not going to be the pictures that you see of like just seas of people. You don't always have to deal with that. You can find a way around that. There's there's golfing. They have world-class golf resorts. There's a million different things that you can. There's a million different things that you can get. So even if you're like trying to drag your husband there and he doesn't want to go, it's like there's other things to entice them. Like, well, but we can do this, or we'll give you this day to do this, or whatever. There's so much more than just. It's not an amusement park. It's not like going to just like ride roller coasters. It's so much more.
Yeah. It really is entertaining in the truest sense of the word. Mm-hmm. There's so much to do. I think we're gonna wrap it up. I quickly realized we could spend easily an episode on each of these parks. We might have to come back and do it again in the future. Do an episode per park, because there's so many more questions I have. Mm-hmm. But Amy, as a travel agent here, we talked about why do Disney, but how can they get a hold of you if they're convinced now we want to do a Disney trip? How do they get a hold of you?
So just shoot me an email, Amy, AMY, at onesparktravel.com. And if you mention that you saw me on the Campbell Chronicles, we're giving away a $100 Disney gift card. If you book a Disney World, Disneyland, Alani, or Adventures by Disney trip, $100 onboard credit if you did a Disney Cruise Line. And even if you're a seasoned pro and you're going to Disney World anyway, might as well just come book through me. You get this $100 gift card, and then I'll do the work for you. As I mentioned before, it's totally free, so no skin off your back, and then you get a Disney gift card.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you're going to go on the vacation anyways, why not take a little extra scratch with you?
Yeah.
So, well, thanks again for watching. It's been a pleasure. Before we go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Really do appreciate that. Thanks again for watching, guys.
And we'll see you real soon, because it's time to say goodnight.